Hello and welcome to Green Diamond Boxing. I'm here with Shaun from Start, and we're here to discuss the Usyk Dubois fights and all of the talking points around it. It's been quite an eventful last week, lots of interviews, lots of discussions, and I thought it'd be really nice to get your opinion on it, Shaun. Just want to start off with the first Usyk Dubois fight, and just your thoughts on that and how it panned out.
That fight was I say it was touch and go until actually Usyk got knocked down. For me though, the blow was legal.
Oh,
For
really?
me, it was on the
Okay.
belt line. So I always thought if it's below the belt line, especially that Usyk pulled the shorts up quite high to where
Mm,
he covered his belly button. So I found it out because I always thought he was a kind of man of integrity and honesty. And for what after the fight when he says, "Oh, he hits hard in my balls." So I
mm,
said, that's a bit odd because I said, look, it sees clearly when they show you the replays. So I
mm.
said, I don't know if it was convenient myopia. So I think the boy was potentially robbed with that one because he took a while to get up.
Yeah,
But
'cause some
then,
people say that it was actually on the line, and some people say, well, actually, you don't know because the trunks were pulled up so much that you can't really tell where that line was. So actually, he might have been telling the truth that actually it might have been a low blow, but how do we really know if we couldn't see the line? Do you see what I mean?
mm, yeah,
Uh,
well, for me, because he's got, the kind of undergarment guard to
mm,
protect, obviously,
yeah,
the privates. Where he's pulled up, if you look back at it, the shorts are definitely over his belly button up here.
yeah, yeah,
So if that's the case, and he's sitting there on the belt, and I said, it's not a low blow. I know some people that have the kind of favoritism thing because of U6 is the best thing since sliced bread, and he's the champion, and Dubois the incumbent. So they're thinking, no, you got if you're gonna take away the champion's belt,
yeah,
it's got to be clear cut, or you carry the judges with both your hands. So that's why I felt Dubois. I still think Dubois was, he probably would have lost anyway, but
yeah,
that count. He got a lot of time to recover. And to be fair, I thought the boy would have put the pressure on him afterwards, and he seemed to take his time, and then allowed Usyk to grow back into the fight. And to be fair, Usyk did become more aggressive after that. He was less cat and mouse and more on the front foot.
yeah,
And as you saw, he stopped him, and then look, the second time he stopped him again. So I think it's pretty comprehensive that Usyk's ability is up here,
yeah.
and the boys, at least, probably a different level. Yeah,
And in the
maybe the
first fight, do
margin.
you think, like, obviously, a lot of people said that Dubois quit in the first fight. Would you say that that is the case, that he did quit, that maybe he could have continued?
Yeah, I think he could continue, but I wouldn't say he quit.
You wouldn't
Because
say
look,
he quit.
because the referee's not like he says, "Oh, I'm resigning," or "I'm going back to my corner," or the towel didn't get thrown in. So
Yeah.
I don't think the first one he quit. He's got that stigma over him because the Joe Joyce fight when he took the knee.
Hmm.
No, I tell a lot of people, unless you've had a broken eye socket, I wouldn't be telling someone about quitting when he's a prize fighter. He's not fighting for his family or fighting for his life. He's a prize fighter, and there's a referee there. So he's probably thinking in his back of my mind, I don't want to get a debilitating injury where it cuts short my career. So I spent a lot of years fighting to
Hmm.
make a living so I don't have to work a conventional job. I can retire comfortably and I'm
Yes.
putting my health on the line. So I said, if I do, I might be maybe to fight another day without lasting damage, which I can actually recover from fully from.
Hmm.
So people say that, but I remember the great Joe Fraser turn
Hmm.
his back on George Foreman when I used to watch the replays, and people used to say there was no one more courageous than him. I've seen Tyson when Lennox Lewis dropped him all them years ago when I was at school about he's too big, he's too strong, he's a beautiful payday. I said, yeah. So I said, it looked that don't seem like the ferocious animal that bit off Evander Holyfield's
Yeah,
ears. It
yeah.
seems like a bit of flat trap bullying, and when someone can stand up to you, all of a sudden it's a different thing.
Mm.
Yeah, see, I've seen people spit out the gum shield, and they don't get the kind of criticism that the boy has got.
Yeah.
So I know because the celebrity aspect of some of the former fighters, they said basically what I say because I fought at that level. What I say is gospel, like they're God on earth. But I
Hmm.
said sense is sense, and when it's pretty obvious like that, and other fighters have got form doing similar things, you have to question them. Said, how would you know unless you've had your eye socket broken
Yeah.
and you fought through it yourself? That's why I prefer David Hay when he said, you know what, I was a bit too harsh. I said I've never had my eye socket broken in the ring, so I wouldn't be able
Yeah.
to say with authority whether I would have fought on and gone out of my shield like a lot of people say.
True.
Same with Tony Bellew. He says he would have gone out of his shield. He said you was rocked by Usyk and you was semi-conscious, but
Mm.
you didn't have any eye socket broken.
Hmm.
So how would you know unless you've been through that kind of pain or have had that happen to you and you fought through and to the end it's different. Yeah, so I think it's six a dozen of one and half a dozen of another.
Do you think that the criticism on Dubois is too harsh?
Yeah, it's definitely too harsh.
Yeah.
Definitely
Why
too harsh.
why do you think that is the case?
Because when you look at the prize fighting, the whole idea is to make a living. As much as they try to hype it up for the crowds and obviously make it look like it's a blood feud and a vendetta, I don't see why you would jeopardize yourself for a fight where you're not financially comfortable and knowing that if you think you might have to go back to working a 9 to 5.
Mm.
I just think it's a logical decision. Anyone that gets into the ring to fight for a living is obviously not a normal person on the street.
Yeah.
So I said you have to have some form of courage.
Mm.
You can't disrespect someone or say someone's got no heart when they're doing that. And the Hergovich fight, he got hit with some clean shots and he didn't back up.
Yeah.
Joshua rocked him to his boots. So you saw the one when he stunned him before
Mm.
he actually knocked Joshua out flat. He backed up in the ropes and Joshua was putting the pressure on him and he came out with that wonder punch on the counter. And so he could have said, you know what, I've just been clocked there. I'm just gonna give up.
Yeah.
He didn't do that then. He didn't do it against
And he
Hergovich.
did really well against the Miller fight as
Yeah,
well.
exactly. And
Like,
Miller is hard
like
body.
kept coming forward, and he just, he didn't give up. He carried on going, but he
Mm,
could see that he was making progress, right? So in the
yeah.
Miller fight, he could see he was making progress, and in the other ones, Herkovich and stuff, he was making progress. So he had no reason to kind of back down in that sense. With Usyk, he was hit, he was knocked down.
Mm.
Is that something that you think might have changed the way that he thought kind of go
Yeah, it
continue?
might do, but
Because
only he
you
will be
think
able
you're
to tell you
winning, you're like,
honestly.
yeah, I'm going to carry on. But it's like, okay, now
Mm.
I've been hit so much, I've been knocked down. Maybe it's a bit too much. Is there like a threshold for some people that go, okay, I can't do this anymore?
A lot of people are thinking of themselves when they say that. They said unless you're in the ring at that exact same time and you can read his mind. I'm not clairvoyant, so I wouldn't know.
Mm.
Wasn't the towel actually officially thrown in by his trainer, Don Charles?
I don't know if it was.
Yeah, I saw something that said he threw the towel, and then Don
Yeah,
Charles he done an interview on was it Talksport, and he said he told them the referee had called it off. So even though a lot of people, the reason why they criticize him is because I was alarmed still that he got up and he's walking like he hadn't been hit hard.
Mm.
He wasn't like groggy or unsteady on his feet.
Yeah.
But some people with recuperative powers are better than others because it's not when he got dropped, his legs buckled. It wasn't like it was a flash knockdown or it's one way he said, "Oh, you know what, I don't fancy it." He was actually taken off his feet and he spun around.
Yeah.
So even though they called it the count and then he walked off and he got up, it's more the way he walked away because he looked kind of fresh when he walked past Usyk when he was celebrating. So
Mm.
that's why I said, see, he could have gone on.
Yeah.
But his trainer, from what I know, from what I've heard, said he basically threw in the towel and said, yeah, call it off. He didn't want him to get any more
Yeah.
punishment. But
Mm.
Don Charles said on Talksport. So he's the one in the corner and working with him. So he would be more qualified to say.
Yeah. But I don't know what happened first. Like, was the towel thrown in first, or did the count reach 10 first? I'm not quite sure which one
When
came
when I, when I
first.
looked at it, he's like he basically got up like about 9, and then the referee kind of waved it off. So I never actually saw the towel when I was watching the
I
fight.
didn't
But
see
then
it.
Don Charles said afterwards that he said he called it. He
Yeah.
said yeah, he didn't want him to take much punishment because he said the first it was too soon after the first knockdown, and he
Mm.
said it's the way his leg was buckled and he spun around. They said he didn't want him to take any more punishment.
Yeah. And the
Yeah,
trainer
so
didn't
the boy
like
didn't actually say I'll give up or
yeah.
spit out his gum shield. He didn't do
Mm.
that. Mm.
True. Yeah, so obviously Don would know whether he feels that Daniel can go forward or not as well. So he would have, known when to kind of, stop it. So yeah, but it's really interesting to kind of hear people's thoughts on it because you're absolutely right. It's like unless you've been in that position, you can't really know. And even
Mm.
if you are a fighter and you've been knocked down, you don't know how that punch was for that person at that time.
Mhm,
I mean, so
mhm,
it's
mhm,
still different. It's still not something that you can say, oh, I've been knocked down, so he should have been able to continue. That might not always be the case. Obviously, I was watching the Fight is Right, which is Tunde and Spencer Fearon's podcast. They do that every Sunday evening. And it was a really interesting one this time around because Derek Chisora also joined the call as well.
Okay.
And in previous interviews, Derek had said that he thought Daniel quit. And Tunde was quite upset about that comment because he felt like you can't say that someone's quit, but also someone of Derek's kind of magnitude in terms of, the presence that he has and the celebrity status that he has to make a comment like that can really have an effect on the fighter and on what other people think about it as well. So if someone like
Hmm.
Derek
Hmm.
says he quit, other people will quickly take
Jump on the
that
bandwagon.
on and say Derek said it, so yeah, actually, I think that he quit too, right? So
Hmm.
I think for that reason, Tunde was a bit like, well, you should really be careful about what you say because other people will also take that opinion then. And Derek was really, really good in the way that he explained what he was saying because he said, look, this was an undisputed fight. We know Derek puts everything on the line when he fights, right? That's the way he is in the ring. And that's what he said that he would have liked to have seen from Daniel, but he didn't feel that he did see that. And from his perspective, he wanted to be honest to say that he felt Daniel could have gone on and he didn't, but that is something that can be worked on and that Daniel can come back even stronger next time. So that was basically the argument of both, Tunde and Derek. And it was really interesting to watch them go through the motions of trying to understand each other's point of view.
Hmm.
And yeah, I found that really interesting, and I kind of learned quite a lot from their conversation on that. And yeah, I really appreciated Derek's perspective on that as well, because he really does feel a lot for Daniel and wants him to improve as well, and wants him to, come back even stronger. So that was really
Was
nice.
it, I mean, the resilience thing he was talking about when he was doing that? Because I never saw when Chisora was speaking on there. So he's saying that he can improve his mental strength when he's under
Mm.
fire.
Yeah,
Okay.
he was basically saying that he would have wanted Daniel to carry on, but the fact that he didn't, and he felt that he stopped earlier than he should have done, he can work on that for his next fights going forward. That's what he said.
Yeah, yeah.
So
So he's still questioning his heart. He's doing diplomatically, politically. He's still questioning his heart and his resolve. Well, see,
yeah, I
that
guess he is questioning that for the one fight that he saw, but he thinks that it's something that can be worked on and can be improved on, which is, it's like,
yeah.
okay, you're not like down and out. You're going to come back and you come back even stronger. So, yeah.
Again, someone like Usyk, unless he had a star transplant
Mm,
and got a bit better with his feints and head movement, I don't see how he beats Usyk because it's comprehensive.
mm,
He basically from the second round, he was all Usyk. I was just waiting for the coup de grace.
yeah.
I thought Usyk would have stopped him, but like rounds 8 to 12. But
Okay.
as soon as I thought, and I could tell Usyk was a lot more aggressive than he usually is. So it's
Yeah.
funny enough. I think you might know him. There was a sports broadcaster who said he knows why Usyk was more aggressive in this match than the first one because
Oh,
I think he interrupted him the last time when he
mm.
fought. I think was it the Fury fight, it's
Hmm.
the last Fury fight, and he said he came in the ring when he's talking about his dad, and he felt his
Oh,
disrespect that he was coming about. Oh, I want you, Usyk. I want the rematch.
right, right,
And they
right.
said, and that set the fire in him. So I said he was a lot more comprehensive this
I
time, a
think
lot
it
more
was,
aggressive to get him out
yeah,
there early.
I think it was several things that happened from the Dubois team. So it was Daniel coming in and disturbing, Usyk's win. And then there was something about the team talking about Usyk's religion as well and questioning his
Okay.
faith and his religion. And obviously, um, you know, I think Don Charles did say, "Oh, I feel like he should have been an honest person, and he's lying about the low blow." So I think that came from the Dubois team as well, which is something else that upset Usyk and the kind of accusation that Usyk cheated in that by pretending that it was a low blow when it wasn't, right? Or when he felt that it wasn't. So whatever it was, I mean, I'm not going to say because I don't know whether it definitely was or not. But I think it's those things that really upset Usyk. And from what I've heard in interviews, that's the thing that made him go, okay, I'm definitely going to knock this guy out now. And he predicted when he was going to do it as well. He said,
He did. I missed that. We said the fifth round.
he said before the sixth round. I think he said sixth
Okay.
or before the sixth, something like that. So
Okay.
yeah, he even predicted. And apparently Usyk's not the type to normally predict
No,
when
he doesn't. He
he's
doesn't. It's not
going
what I've seen.
to
I've seen him
stop
even.
someone.
He's not
And
someone that
this
does
was
that.
the first time. So I was like, wow, he must have been really upset.
Yeah, yeah, he had a
Um,
bit more personal,
yeah,
more vendetta in that.
definitely. Definitely a lot more personal. But then, people do bring up the fact that Tyson Fury's team were also quite disrespectful to Usyk and his team, and obviously Tyson's dad bumping heads with, you
True.
know, with
Yeah,
the
no, it's
Usyk's team.
pantomime though. I think there's a bit of WWE in there.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Yeah, yeah, it was. It was. They know how it is. Yeah, that's why. But Tyson Fury never brought his family into it or tried to interrupt him when he's talking about his dad. He
Yes.
never done anything like that.
Yeah.
So I think that's why he never had the same vim that he had for Dubois, and
Yeah.
obviously the cheat accusation. So he seemed to take it a lot more personally this time.
Mm.
He was
But
outclassed anyway. He's outclassed anyway. He used six hands too fast. He's mesmerized by the feinting and then the punching off the feints. And then once he couldn't get hold of him, he started to lunge and lose balance. And then you open yourself up to more counters like Joshua did against him. So
Mhm.
yeah, it's different level. Dubois' hands is not fast enough. Head movement's not good enough.
Yeah.
He's he's not. He doesn't have the IQ of Usyk. So it
Mm.
negates all his physical strength
Yeah.
and punch power. So that's why he's a slippery customer. He's a genius. To be fair, I knew that from when I first saw him in the WP series, C series years ago, just after he come out of the amateurs. And my friend said, "Look, Sean, put £1,000 in the 2-1." I
Mhm.
said, "What over Gassiev?" He said, "Trust me, Sean, this man is the next big thing." And for years, his odds were always long. I said, "Don't they realize how good this man is?"
Yeah. Wow.
I think until he came to the heavyweight division, every time I bet him, he was always the underdog, which I
Mhm.
found totally absurd. But
Yeah.
yeah, now the world knows. Mm.
Oh, wow. Okay, so there was a lot of talk as well around what was happening before the fight. So Usyk Dubois too. Things like Dubois coming to Wembley late, there being a party or a gathering beforehand, whether that impacted on Daniel Dubois and his performance, and then there being loads of people in the corner. So there was quite a few things that people have spoken about being potentially negatively affecting Daniel's performance. But then having watched interviews with, from Don Charles, he said that everything that happened on that night was the same thing that happened on the previous fights and he won those previous fights. So therefore, it wasn't an issue. Nobody started talking about that there was a pre-fight party or that, what was Daniel's mental state beforehand. Nobody delves into any of that because he won those fights. But
Exactly.
now that he lost a fight, people are like, oh, well, what happened there then?
Exactly. You always get that. It's in any walk of life.
Yeah.
It all depends on the W or your success
Yeah.
or the result of your decision. Anything that goes wrong or you lose or goes south, they start saying, "Oh, well, what do you do? Let's go through what you done, why you lost." So I
Yeah.
can understand that, but some of it is ridiculous because if he's doing that before and he
Mhm.
won, why would that all of a sudden be a problem against Usyk? Sometimes it's just media personalities and obviously the
Mm.
ex-fighters and the legacy media. Like, oh, we need to have a talking point to get people to watch and escape into this reality of sports fights, prize fighting. So I can understand it's a talking point, but for
Yeah.
me, that is not a legitimate reason why to criticize him because he's done it before and he won, and no one said anything about it. It's
Exactly.
only come up this time because of the videos, and they said, "Oh, I think Don Charles said there's a few more people there this time, so he's
Yeah.
a bit bigger." But some people use that to inspire them to think, you know what, this is my moment. They don't want to be locked away like Joshua, maybe secluded, solitary confinement in the dark, saying, "Yeah, I need time and moment to meditate." And for some people, they like to live a normal life, so they relax. So they relax when they go there. They don't want to be too tense. And boxers always say it's best to be relaxed when you're in the ring.
Mm.
That's how you get. He said if you're too anxious and nervous and want it too much, he said you become stiffen up, and you don't throw your punches as smoothly. You're not as rapid. You see things late. So by that logic, they should be accepting that's just his process of dealing with big fights and big situations.
Yeah.
We're
So
not all the
everyone's
same.
different, aren't they? So everyone's going
Exactly.
to do things differently. Some people might need that seclusion. And
Mm.
I think on TalkSport, when they mentioned it to Joseph Parker and to someone else, Lawrence Okolie, they were both quite shocked. They were like, oh, there was like a gathering or a party beforehand. And they were like, well, we would never have done that because we would normally need to kind of focus on a big fight. But then everyone is different, like you've just said. Some fighters might just need that seclusion to focus, and some might just want to have a gathering, have a bit of kind of relaxation time, chilling out, whether it's with music or not. And that's the thing that kind of gets them in the zone. So,
Exactly. I seen Roy Jones when I was a teenager. Roy Jones had a thing where he played some kind of pro level basketball match, and he went into a world title fight a couple hours later. So you see,
wow.
when you're a Magic Man and you're wired differently mentally, it's not for the mere mortals or the conventional people, the neurotypical people, to be saying, "Oh, this should be the process for everybody."
Mm.
I don't think he was drinking, so that's the thing. He wasn't out into them small hours of the morning, so again with that thing. So yeah, it's I think it's it's a good talking point for media and clickbait. Click, click, click.
Yeah.
So
Or it could just be something like Chinese whispers. People are like, oh, there's loads of people there and there's music, so maybe it's a party, and they just come to that kind of conclusion. And then Don Charles said, no, actually, it's not a party, it was a gathering. And then when I watched The Fight Is Right, Spencer Fearon was saying, well, actually, it wasn't really even that. It was just them congregating to one place so that they could all go to the venue together. So, and then that makes a lot more sense, doesn't it? It's like, okay, everyone's
mm,
coming to the house, they're all going to meet up there and then all going to travel together to the venue. That makes perfect sense. Um,
exactly,
so it's kind of like how people, interpret it, going,
exactly. Yeah, you always get people like that. Always. But
yeah.
I suppose that's what causes, the headlines and gets people, interested and attracted people to boxing. Everyone wants to have their opinion. So I can understand it. But I would never take it as gospel, like, yes, it has to be
Mhm.
like this for every fighter in
Yeah.
terms of preparation. My thing, as long as you're not abusing your body and you're not sleeping till, late, early hours of the morning and you're out partying, that affects your sleep cycle. I said, I don't see the problem.
Yeah,
I see the problem
absolutely.
at all because then it's just like an emotional stimulus. It's like some people, like a lot of people around them, it makes them feel good. Some
Mm.
people, they're kind of introverts, so they'd rather be on their own. It just depends on your personality type. It's
Yeah.
not a snapback. One side doesn't fit all.
No,
Mm.
absolutely. So, final couple of questions then. So, where would you like to see Daniel go from here, and what would you like to see Usyk do after this fight?
I like to see the Dubois fight Joshua again because I think Joshua will
Okay.
beat him.
Yeah,
Um, I like to see him fight. Is it Afabal, the one that beat Zhang?
the
Yeah,
one
is
that
that is
and
that?
Ajit Kabayel, is that who you're talking
Yeah,
about?
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's it. Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd like to see him fight him. Music. Boy. Fury 3, maybe. Fury 3, the trilogy. Because I
Really?
do think Fury
You
has the
want to see
potential to
that?
beat him.
Do you
Yeah,
really want to see that?
yeah, I do.
Really?
I think Usyk, yeah, I think Usyk, yeah, because look, Wilder and Fury got a trilogy. So I think Usyk, because
I know,
who's really
but
there to challenge him? And you got to tell man some of the younger fighters, but they'll tell you where's the gate, where's the money for that. It doesn't make sense for him
mm,
to jeopardize his undisputed and his money in order to fight someone that is a lower tier fighter. So if he's gonna go around he's got to be at least someone in the top three. So maybe Parker as well. Well, I
mm.
think that's set, isn't it? Parker and
Parker
Usyk.
would be a good fight, but
Then,
it's not definitely set in stone, I don't think.
but the manager, I think they've made him manager unless he gives up the belts. Isn't he may be made mandatory to fight
Yeah,
for the
yeah,
WBO? So yeah, Parker. See, maybe
be a good
Parker.
one to definitely fight.
Yeah. Or
Do you,
even so go.
do you think Tyson can actually beat Usyk then?
Yeah, he's got the tools to beat him. He's definitely got.
Really?
Yeah, he's definitely got the tools to beat
Okay.
him. Yeah, he's definitely got the tools. Yeah, yeah. It's true.
Okay.
People die, but yes, if the
Agree.
way Fury is, he's got the tools to beat him. But he's gonna have to use his range and height. He starts doing the pantomime bidding and trying to show off before the
Yeah,
fight's over. He's a recipe for disaster.
yeah.
Yeah.
He said
So
that he wants to fight him again, so we'll see whether that actually pans out. But let's get our AJ Fury fight on, which I think is next year.
oh, is that set in stone now?
Well,
Is
we
that
haven't
set in
got a
stone?
date, but Turkey Al Sheikh said he's trying to make it for next year. So
Okay.
watch this space. Hopefully, we will get a date for that soon. And I think that AJ will hopefully be fighting in November, December as a kind of tune-up
We're
fight.
gonna tune it out, yeah.
Yeah, warm-up
That
fight.
makes sense.
And then probably Tyson will be fighting somebody else before he fights AJ as well. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see who Daniel does go into the ring with next. But yeah, this has been really great to catch up with you again, Shaun, and thank you so much for your
Definitely.
time. It's been a really great discussion, and yeah, I hope everyone enjoys it. Please do comment, like, subscribe, share, and let us know what you would like us to discuss next time. So yeah, until then, I will catch you all later.